something. I was asking for the rain, so my fault. Just a little pop-up shower, but they're talking for more significant chances this afternoon. I'm welcoming it. If we can get a half inch, that'd be great. All I know is for our next planter, we're gonna need to get bulk fill because this sucks. I'm filling up every 20 some acres. Feels like I just filled it up. Yeah, there they are. Freaking looking for those all morning. You know, I gotta get used to, if I lose something, just look in a tractor, because that's where they probably are. Oh, these guys are getting dark over there. So there is a cell, small cell. According to the radar, it's gonna kind of miss us or just clip us a little bit. I don't know. It'd be nice if that hit us. Just direct on hit us. It kind of looks like there's a decent amount of rain in there. So we need a solid half-inch rain, I feel. But just as long as I can get done with this field, which I only have a few acres left. Probably like 5 to 7 acres left here, so I'm gonna keep plugging away. It drops now, and they're continually getting bigger. Now it's coming down a little bit quicker. So this ground is a little bit clumpier than I'd like it to be, or than it usually is when we work it for soybeans or work the corn stalks in that we're there. It hasn't really been super warm. Like, we've had cold nights. It's like somewhat hot during the day, or warm I should say. It's not hot, it's warm. We've only had like 1 or 2 80-degree days, and they really didn't feel like it. It gets cold at night, like, you know, low 40s, low 50s, you know, between that area. That's kind of where we are most nights. We've had very few nights where we're like over 60 or where it's warm. It's a little bit unusual. It's been kind of on the cooler side, and that's why I feel like some of this ground isn't working up very well. Everything that we put into corn worked really nice, or worked up really nice. All the bean stubble and even the corn stalks on some of the corn on corn ground did pretty good. Bean stubble is really easy to work when you're planting corn onto old bean stubble. When we worked that, whether it was deep tilled in the fall or we're just working the bean stubble, that always seems to work up really nice. It's all mellow. Soybeans do a nice job at mellowing the ground out, but corn stalks with the roots and all the stalks and everything, it gets hard to get a really nice seed bed like that unless you work it a bunch. But that's not necessarily what we're looking for. We're not looking for an extremely perfect seed bed to put beans into. So just as long as they got good seed to soil contact, you know, that's all we're worried about. But and now we're putting them in with this planter because, you know, for 130-inch rows, a little less of a chance of white mold and other diseases with a little bit of aeration going through the rows. Soybeans aren't so close together, which leads us to canopying issues, but I don't necessarily get extremely worried there. Most of the time we do hit canopy at some point, and that's basically on our heavier ground like this. You know, when we get into our light soils, we tend to drill the lighter soils. That if we get that canopy early, it kind of helps suppress the weeds, along with keeping moisture in the ground, or getting a canopy to keep the moisture in the ground, or trying to dampen up the ground, give it a little more shade so that the sun doesn't take it all out right away. But yeah, which seems to work pretty good. It's not like a dramatic difference, but it's enough that it helps. Plus, it's kind of nice when, like today, you know, Jeremy was running the drill and I'm running this, so, you know, it's just another thing getting something in the ground. So, but before I go off on that tangent anymore, I don't know, it was just kind of odd this year, you know, working ground wise, and even the bean stubble kind of worked up a little bit more weird than it usually did. And we really haven't had the crusting issue like we had this year, and it's not like we've had an absolute ton of rain or even moisture at that point. It's just that soil's so cold. It seems to do weird things. Now, are we gonna see it really affect yield all that much? I don't know. Usually putting seed in and poor soil conditions, if you want to call it that, it usually tends to lead to yield loss, but I don't know. What is even our yield potential with this year in general? And also some of the uneven emergence that I feel like we're gonna have this year too with the crusting. We kind of put a damper on stuff, so should be interesting to see. I do look forward in seeing kind of how stuff tends to play out after these conditions. It's always cool to see technology in the way it is, all this new technology, planters, seed, you know, all that. It's all interesting to see how stuff performs, you know, given conditions. So I don't know, I'll be interested in seeing. Well, thankfully it's raining because, or going to rain, because I'm getting pretty low on fuel. So I don't know, it kind of looks like it's going south. They say it was supposed to go north. It kind of looks like it's going south to me. Oh, it'd be really nice if that stuff would come this way some more. And there's quite the rumbling of thunder. It seems like it's kind of staying south, but it's hitting us. And it's hitting some of the southern farms, so that's good. I'm happy. Because we got some corn down there, and that was some of our heavier, or that was some of the stuff that got crusted pretty good, so. The luxuries of having a pool. Gotta get that thing under control. I opened it up here a couple of weeks ago, and it's pretty green, so I've been kind of adding stuff I had left over from last year. Don't quite have it under control. It's a stationary pool, so most of its water was in there already. You're supposed to leave most of the water in it. It's still in above ground, but you don't tear it down or nothing, so that's another thing I gotta do, is redo the deck on it eventually. I know I have a couple boards that I gotta replace on it, but I do have a feeling that we'll be back moving tomorrow. We really didn't get a ton of rain. I probably didn't even amount to 1/10 of an inch, if not a little less. I can already see some of the fields are starting to dry back out, or the surface is starting to dry back out, so we'll be back rolling tomorrow unless we get another shower here, but that's all right. Quicker we can get it done, better off we are. This is where I'm kind of nervous about the crusting, and we didn't really get enough rain. It isn't terrible though. It doesn't take much to bust it up. It is a little bit more soft now. There we go. Coming out of the ground soon. Alright, well, we're gonna go check some stuff that is already starting to come out of the ground, because it was our first planted corn. I went past it this morning, saw it coming out. This stuff is coming up really nice, actually. A little bit off in the singulation in there, but Christ, they all look really nice. This is one of the more rewarding things, is when the stuff first starts coming up, and God, I cannot complain about this stand at all. Everything is coming out pretty good, so, and that's kind of how it is for this whole field. Look at that. Well, I'm gonna hang this video up on a high note here. So we have corn coming out of the ground. Kind of exciting. If you're liking the content and you are not yet, please subscribe, hit the like button down below. Hope everyone enjoyed, and we'll catch you in the next one. Later.